Hey guys, this is Isaac, jumping right back into the Ratchet and Clank Future A Crack in Time practice speedrun, which again I'm uploading purely for the benefit of the people at SDA that are helping me with the route for the speedrun of this game. I want to show them what it looks like and see if I can get any suggestions or improvements, and I already have, so this is working out quite well. Right now we're jumping into the Vila sector to resume control of Ratchet after just finishing one of the Clank sections. The really annoying one with all the planets and shit like that. Molonoth Fields is quite a beautiful planet, actually. It's one of the ones that I feel better encapsulates a similar feel to what we had with the Tools of Destruction planets, in that you can almost see nearly constant glitching, and even when it's not like, some sort of super out-of-the-map glitch or anything, just little sequence breaks. And I have a lot of trouble with this one here for some reason. It's not actually a difficult glitch. Just get on top of the little light, jump into the corner, and then you can obviously get up. A little bit of bolt farming, and then you can hop across here. And I actually don't like to use the wrench command there. I prefer to jump onto it, but when you fail like that, it does look slower. However, it's not actually that difficult of a jump. For some reason, I was just doing terribly at Molonoth in this particular playthrough. Although, obviously, segmenting just sort of stops that cold. You have to walk up here and activate the cutscene before going forward, but I would have walked forward anyway, because there's a very easy Zoni around here. And that's just about as fast as you can ever hope for a Zoni, so I don't mind walking around there, even though the path that I'm going is actually not this way. It's time for another little sequence break, this time using one of these tiny light posts. If you get on top of this one, and then jump at the wall in a certain way, you can just skip right over it, obviously. You do have to activate that cutscene, though, so you have to go up there, and once you're up there, you may as well get the Zoni, right? It's actually probably worth going up there just to get the Zoni, even if you didn't have to do the cutscene. And in this little section, you can run around and collect as many bolts as you can before the very slow Volard eventually makes it to the door. Bolt farming is actually much more important than I expected it to be, now that I've played through the full game without Tools of Destruction save data. I now know what all the non-discounted prices of the items are. And the buzz blades are a little difficult to buy, actually. They're going to be very taxing on my bolts, so I'm going to have to do not any farming necessarily, but every time that I have a chance to break boxes for free, I'm going to have to do it. So even though in this particular run, which is my first run after deleting my tools data, I didn't really do a very good job. Like right there, I probably should have broken these boxes, but I didn't, because I wasn't sure how tight my money would be. But now that I know, I can obviously plan around it, and that was just dumb, obviously. Although this trick is actually quite difficult. That's how you pull it off. Once you're up on top of this, you jump down here, get onto a box, and jump across to the throwy platform, which will hurl you upwards. I've actually done that with every size of box too, which is funny. It almost makes me think the box may not be required, but I'll have to look into that more. And these guys I pick off as quickly as I can and walk through these doors, which I kind of hate, because those pistons, if they hit you, are just an instant kill. Like, it's not like it deals damage like the fire or anything, it just instantly kills you if they hit you. So, you obviously have to be pretty careful. Ugh. Excuse me guys, I just woke up like 10 minutes ago or something, but decided to record a commentary because these are taking me forever because I hate them for a reason I don't really understand. Oh, look at that, I beat the whole grind boot course. I'm not going to make you guys sit through that. Obviously it's a grind boot course, can't speed it up or anything. Now we are going to move down into the hover boot area, where I'm going to again do a little bit of a glitch. This one skips all of the little tutorial with the hover boots. So it skips like, well yeah, I actually fail a little bit here, but like every other glitch in Molonoth, I don't pull it off first try successfully. And that was just stupid. I was already up there, but I, for some reason, came back down. I don't think purposefully. And there we go. That's what I'm hoping for. It's actually not that difficult, despite how I may make it look. Nor is that. But yeah, once you get over here, you'll see that I can hover up onto the light, and then once I'm done with that, I can just get out of the area. No need to go through the course with azimuth or anything like that. Although, because I want this Zoni, I am going to complete the flare course, obviously. it is actually possible to, when you leave the area, to fly in a slightly different way, so that you don't trigger the flare course. And at first I thought that might be faster because this, yeah, I don't even know what happened there. Like I hit the pad, it was all the way down, but I didn't jump. So for some reason, Molonoth just went completely wrong for me. And even some of the things like that, I don't really feel are my fault. Like I feel like I mean, I went right over it. Didn't jump me or anything. But anyway, I considered not even doing the flare course, but then I realized that you get a Zoni afterwards, and that it's all pretty fast actually. I mean, it takes a little bit longer than I'd like, but it's not like it's, huge amounts of minutes or anything, so considering that you get a Zoni out of it, it is worth it, and it does take a while to leave the planet otherwise. Excuse me again, guys. When you do leave the planet otherwise, you have to do a dumb strategy that involves like climbing around on the robot over there. And that's just no fun at all, because you have to skip several triggers that you sort of have to weave around. And it can be somewhat bothersome, so I feel like it's probably better to just go ahead and get the Zoni. In fact, I'm almost certain the timing works out better. I wish that you could get the Zoni without doing the course, but whatever. I suppose that I can settle for this. Now that we're done with Molonoth, we can begin collecting Zoni, I think is my next goal. Yeah, because now that I have the hover boots, there are several pretty easy Zoni that I want to pick up. The first one, I'm going to make a beeline right for it, is the one over here on this icy planet, which has a little bit of a trick to it, and when you do that trick while trying to get the Zoni, you can pick it up much faster than you otherwise would be able to, making this one of the fastest stars, or whatever they are, one of the fastest tiny planets. Dwarf planets? They seem too small to even be dwarfs. They're like big asteroids. But that's kind of a pointless aside. So yeah, once you get up onto the highest platform here, which is just like 2x platforms away, you just drive right off the end, get a good long jump, and you can actually totally make this jump. Because this game is well designed. And I like doing this little trick where you jump before recatching your wrench after throwing your wrench, so that you don't have to watch the Zoni scene until you're next to your ship. It doesn't save any time, obviously, because it's still the exact same scene, but I like doing that. Just for style points. And once you're done with that area, there are 2 more planets in this sector that we're going to be getting Zoni from. Vela Gamma is up next. This one is one of the more simple planets because it's, there's no hazard on the ground. It's a solid planet, which are usually pretty fast. I think that I do all the solid planets, but there aren't very many. This guy I try and catch early, but end up just going right through that metal thing instead. And when I do finally catch him, you can see that even that did not take very long. I mean, these solid planets where you have to just like chase the Zoni around or whatever are pretty fast. They're almost universally, I think, the fastest planets. Obviously, there are some solid planets that have other obstacles in your way, so they're a little slower. But the ones like those where you just have to chase a Zoni, those are usually pretty fast. Then I come over here to Vela Alpha, which is the last Zoni that I'm going to be getting from this particular space sector, but excluding the ones in Axium City, of course, which is technically in this sector, I guess. And this one is predictably very fast, the short hover boots course, so I think that this one doesn't even really need much explanation. I mean, it's so fast to get, isn't difficult or anything, so there's really no reason not to get it. With that, you can see that all of those planetoids, I think they're called in the game officially, all those planetoids do not take very long to complete. I'm still not sure if it's best to glide diagonally like this or to fly down onto the ground immediately and then go sideways with the hover boots to get back to your ship faster, but I can definitely check that. And now I'm actually going to jump back to the previous sector. Now that I have the hover boots, I can complete 3 of the planetoids here very quickly. So even though it does cost me 2 loading screens, one to go there, one to come back, it is still faster than any 3 other Zoni, because getting all 3 of these are so fast. I mean, these planets are among the fastest, because they're just not designed with the hover boots in mind. They are designed purely for approaching them the first time that you enter this sector. And then, yeah, I don't even know what was up with that. That corner, apparently I was cutting a little too close, but I think that the glitch here is obvious, or the sequence break, perhaps, where you just turn around and then just do a long jump, and then you're right at the end. Like, there's the Zoni. So obviously this is a very fast one. I actually make up for making that mistake by catching the Zoni, like, immediately. Very first throw. Because I'm just boss like that. Eventually I figure out the way back home, jump across, start moving towards, I believe, the fire planet's next. And the fire one is, no it isn't actually, the other one comes first, I believe, the solid planet. The fire planet I actually have some difficulties with. The jump itself can be kind of challenging to make. I found some markers that I can use to help direct me on where I should jump and what direction and stuff, but there's still, you have to make a lot of really snap decisions when it comes to hover booting. With your boots stuck in the wall. I'm not really sure what it's called, but the technique of using hover boots to gain additional jumps on sloped surfaces. You have to make some really quick snap decisions about what to do with those, depending on how your character is falling and floating and things like that. Then right there you can see that I always manage to open that door just before the guy's swing hits me. I don't know if that's the way that's intended, but you don't actually have to kill them first. Yet another yawn. Apparently I didn't get enough sleep. So I feel like early morning commentary, at least, it's a big change from the late night commentaries, because I was not too happy with how those turned out. For some reason I just really hate commentating over these. But I do need to show people what my route looks like, so I will continue. And finally we make it to the lava planet. Here you can see that I set my 2 marks, one of which is right here, one of which is right there, and then I make it. So I have to decide when to hover boot, when to not, and finally manage to get up on the ledge without being shot down into the lava, and pick up the Zoni, and I'm just going to jump back home now. Now that I'm up to a very high, probably unnecessarily high number of Zoni for this stage of the game, I can of course go back to the previous sector and begin working on Axium City. Axium City is another fairly glitched planet, but Axium City still takes way longer than Molonoth, because mostly because of the boss battle, but it's also just a longer planet. There's more ground that you cover. So the first thing you have to do is get this Zoni, and I think that I actually mess up getting him. So what you're supposed to do is go like that, and then turn around, and he should be right in the air right there. Now, for whatever reason, I think I didn't go quite far enough forward, because he just sort of jumped back to the spawn. So then I have to go ahead and flush him out again. At this point, the boxes that I used to jump up and grab the hook shot are already broken. So, just gonna have to chase this guy down the hard way. Obviously in a segmented, or obviously in any speedrun board that I actually wanted to accept, I would not miss him like that, but in the practice run, I did. So this whole section can just be ignored because it won't be in the final. I felt like leaving it in though so you guys could marvel at how bad I really am at these games. Now I'm going to jump back home, back towards my ship, and once I get to this little platform I can continue on with the level and move towards the second and third Zoni that I'm going to be picking up. Although obviously I'm also moving towards completing the level. These barge things seriously kill me way more often than enemies. Like, I don't even know what it is about them, but things like that always end up killing me. Or like you hit just the edge of it, so the game doesn't give you the jump boost, but then like you needed that to survive, so you just die, and there's like nothing you can do about it. It's kind of bizarre. So there's Zoni number 2. I didn't really talk about it because it seems kind of self-explanatory. It's also possible to get with some great hover boot long jump wrench slams, but it's a little bit easier and probably a little bit faster to go around the wall like this. Even if I do pre-jump there, I still manage to get across just fine, and then just turn around and hookshot into this room, and hope to see you guys next time.